My parents stopped giving my daughter Christmas gifts, even though my brother's kids got new iPads, $500 each, and a game console. My little girl cried and asked, "Why don't Grandma and Grandpa love me?" I comforted her as best as I could, and then we left. That evening, I closed the joint account, and that was just the beginning. I don't usually talk about my family much. Most of my friends just assume I'm one of those people who doesn't like drama, or maybe that I moved far away for work or peace of mind. But the truth is uglier than that. And it all came to a head last Christmas when my 6-year-old daughter looked up at me, her hands empty while her cousins tore through gift wrap like animals, and asked quietly, "Why don't Grandma and Grandpa love me?" I'll never forget that moment ever. This wasn't the first time my parents had played favorites, but it was the first time they made it so official. They've always adored my brother, Brian. He could do no wrong, even when he flunked out of college and floated around jobless for years. I was the one who helped them with bills, paid their car insurance, sent them grocery money when Dad's investments went south. Never asked for anything in return. But Brian had a talent. He knew how to show up just enough, say the right things, pretend he was successful. They ate it up. I used to wonder if they believed their own delusion. This past Christmas, I arrived with my daughter around noon. I brought the gifts, which I had spent way too much on. A brand new coffee maker for Mom. A set of golf clubs Dad had been drooling over all year. A $200 spa gift card, plus personalized photo albums of my daughter through the years. Heartfelt. We placed them under the tree, and I was already eyeing the food table when I noticed something strange. There wasn't a single gift labeled for my daughter. I figured maybe they were still in the back. Maybe they forgot to label them something. Then Brian and his wife arrived. Their kids, both older than mine, went straight to the tree, and I noticed how the labels were carefully arranged facing outward. To Jason, love Grandma and Grandpa. Allie from your favorite grandparents. And then the avalanche started. iPads, literal new iPads, brand new game console, fancy noise-canceling headphones, and envelopes. My niece opened hers and screamed $500 like she'd won the lottery, because she basically had. My daughter got nothing. Not one card, not even a pair of socks. My mother didn't even acknowledge it. He just said, "Oh, the girls are getting so big." And my dad offered my daughter a candy cane from a plastic bowl. That was it. My daughter tugged on my sleeve when the gift-giving calmed down and whispered her question. And I knew in that exact moment that something broke in me. I calmed her down as best I could, lied about Santa being confused this year, made up a story about extra presents waiting at home. We grabbed our coats, left the gifts I brought for them untouched under the tree, and left. No goodbyes, just silence. That night, while my daughter slept curled up next to me on the couch, I sat at my laptop and closed the joint account I shared with my parents. It wasn't a big account, just something I opened years ago to help them pay bills when their bank kept bouncing payments. I paid the electricity, the internet, sometimes their phone bills through it. I transferred every cent left to my own savings, deleted the auto-pay settings, and scheduled the final closure. Then I opened the closet and started gathering up the gifts I had bought them. Unwrapped the golf clubs, found the receipt, dug the spa card out of the envelope. Everything was going back. They wanted to make it clear who they valued. Fine. Message received. But that night, as I watched the snow fall outside and held my daughter tighter than ever, I decided something else, too. That wasn't the end. That was the beginning. The morning after Christmas, I stood in my kitchen staring at the gifts I had bought for my parents, still sitting untouched in their shiny wrap. I couldn't even bring myself to take them out of the trunk the night before. They hadn't deserved them. The spa gift card went up for sale first. Someone bought it within 45 minutes. The golf clubs had to be returned in person, so I took them back to the store that afternoon. I found the receipt for the coffee maker, too, still folded in my wallet, and packed that up for a return as well. I'd spent over $700 trying to make their Christmas special. Instead, they humiliated my daughter. I used that money to give her the Christmas she deserved. A new scooter, the dollhouse she pointed at in catalogs for months. A full art kit with every brush and pastel you could imagine. I wrapped them myself while she was at her friend's house and set them up under our little tree. We celebrated the next morning, just the two of us. She squealed and danced around the living room, and for a few hours, everything felt okay. I didn't call my parents, didn't text. I waited. Took 2 full days. My mom called, her voice already sharp. She asked why her phone bill hadn't gone through. No. Hello. No. How are you? Not a single question about where we'd gone or why we left. Just why didn't the payment go through? I told her the joint account had been closed, that I moved the money and turned off autopay. She paused, then said, "You should have told us. That account was for the family." That word again, family. So, I asked her, what about my daughter? Was she not family? Was she invisible to them now because Brian's kids got iPads and she didn't even get a card? I told her my daughter cried in the car on the way home, asked me why her grandparents didn't love her. I said I hoped they were proud of the answer I had to make up. She didn't say sorry. She didn't even try to explain it. Instead, she said Brian contributes more to the family. I thought maybe I misheard. I asked her what exactly he contributed because I hadn't seen him pay a dime for anything. Not for them. Not for me. Not even for his own kids. She said he brought them a wine basket last month and helped Dad put up new lights in the garage, a $40 gift basket, and a screwdriver. Meanwhile, I'd been paying their bills for years, quietly without asking for recognition. I covered their medications last winter when Dad's insurance lapsed. I paid for the car repairs when Mom's brakes failed. I sent money when they said the power might be shut off. She didn't seem to remember any of that, so I told her we were done. I hung up. That night, I logged into every platform I still had access to. I was listed as the payer on their internet bill. Cancelled. Their cable account gone. I deleted the grocery delivery service I'd set up for them. Cancelled the pharmacy auto refills. Every little thing they depended on that came from me. I shut off. A few hours later, Dad texted. He said I was being dramatic, that they've always loved me, that I was acting ungrateful. I blocked his number. The next day, my brother Brian sent a text. No apology, no explanation, just Mom's upset. You should probably fix this before New Year's. Fix this. I didn't respond. That night, while tucking in my daughter, she asked me quietly if Grandma was mad at her. I told her no, that some grown-ups get confused about how to treat people, and when they act unfairly, it says more about them than it does about you. She nodded and held her stuffed cat a little tighter. That's when I realized I wasn't angry anymore. Not the way I thought I would be. I wasn't sad either. I was clear, and I wasn't even close to done. By December 28th, the silence had become almost satisfying. I hadn't heard a single word about my daughter. No apology, no explanation, not even one of those fake half-hearted messages my mom used to send after a fight. But the other kind of messages started coming. The kind that showed they were finally realizing what I'd done. It started with a text from Mom. "Karen, the grocery order didn't come. Did you forget to renew something?" I ignored it. A few hours later, "Your dad says the internet is out. Something about the bill. Can you fix it?" I could, but I wouldn't. Then came a flurry of calls. Blocked numbers, unknown numbers, even one from a random local pizza place. They were trying to catch me off guard. I didn't answer a single one. The next morning, Brian called. I almost didn't pick up, but curiosity won. He started the call with a sigh like he was the one burdened by all this. Said Mom was worried sick, that I was overreacting, and that I needed to stop making things harder than they need to be. He used that calm, smug voice. He always does when he thinks he's being the reasonable one. I told him I wasn't overreacting, that they humiliated my child on Christmas morning. He said, "You're being dramatic, Karen. They didn't mean it that way. You know how Mom is about money. Brian's kids are older. They're just easier to buy for." I almost laughed. So, a 6-year-old doesn't deserve a present because she's too young to spend money on. I asked him point blank if he noticed that my daughter got nothing. He went quiet for a second, then said, "Yeah, but it's not like it was on purpose." I hung up. An hour later, I got a text from him. "Mom's crying. Dad says, you're trying to punish them. Maybe just apologize so everyone can move on." Apologize. That word sat in my chest for a long time. I opened my laptop and started going through my files. Every transfer I'd made to their account, every bill I'd covered, every grocery order I'd placed. I wasn't trying to guilt myself. I just wanted the truth. 3 years, thousands of dollars, quiet help they never once acknowledged, and yet they had the nerve to say Brian cared more. By evening, it all escalated exactly how I knew it would. My mom made one of those vague Facebook guilt posts people over 60 love. It's always the ones you do the most for who hurt you the most. This Christmas broke my heart. Family isn't what it used to be. The comments rolled in fast. Friends I hadn't seen in years writing things like, "Oh no, what happened, sweetie?" And, "I hope your daughter knows how lucky she is." One even said, "Sometimes kids just forget who raised them." My heart was pounding. Not from anger, but from how predictable it all was. They weren't ashamed of their actions, just that I'd finally stopped tolerating them. I didn't respond, but my friend Jenny, who knew everything, commented, "Maybe tell the full story before pretending you're the victim." Within 20 minutes, the post disappeared. That night, Mom sent a long, passive-aggressive email about how I'd humiliated them, made them look bad, and how all they ever wanted was a fair relationship. She even wrote, "Brian doesn't keep score the way you do." That's when I realized they didn't want fairness, they wanted control. I didn't reply. Instead, I quietly removed myself from everything that tied me to them. Their Prime, pharmacy accounts, streaming services, even emergency contacts. I was done being responsible for them. The next morning, Dad texted, "You're making a fool of yourself. Don't let pride ruin our family." I deleted it. That night, I took my daughter ice skating, just us. Hot chocolate, lights on the ice, peace. When she asked, "Can we stay home for New Year's too?" I said yes. Home wasn't my parents' house anymore. It was wherever she and I felt calm. But my parents had other plans. By December 30th, they were in panic mode. I'd cut them off financially, and instead of accepting it, they doubled down on guilt. Another email came from Dad, subject, "Please don't be rash." He offered to restart the phone payments if we came to dinner on New Year's Eve. He said they had something special planned. It didn't sound like an apology, it sounded like a trap. I texted Jenny. She told me to stay home. But something felt off, especially about my daughter. So, I called Brian's wife. She said they'd bought matching outfits for a family photo and even printed out a picture of my daughter to include for show. That was it. I wasn't just skipping dinner. I was ending the performance. I messaged every relative, calmly explaining we wouldn't attend and that any photo including us was fake. Then I posted one picture, my daughter and I smiling at the rink, with the caption, "This year we learned family isn't who gives you gifts, it's who shows up when it matters. Happy New Year from our little team." It blew up instantly, hundreds of likes and comments of support. Mom saw it, tried to comment, but she was restricted. At 8:17 p.m. on New Year's Eve, a text came from an unknown number. "You embarrassed us. Don't ever come back." At 8:21, I deleted it, because for once, I finally meant it. Jenny showed up at 8:25 with pizza, cupcakes, and sparklers. We stayed up until midnight. My daughter fell asleep on the couch, glitter on her cheeks, her new dollhouse behind her. At midnight, Jenny and I lit sparklers on the porch. Watching the sparks fade, I felt something new, relief. That morning, I woke early to 21 missed calls, 3 voicemails, and dozens of texts. My mom's message sounded rehearsed. "We hope you'll still come tonight. You're part of this family whether you act like it or not." Dad's was shorter. "Don't make a scene." Then Lisa whispered in hers. They were planning to talk about me at dinner, passing around a photo of me and Emma like evidence. I spent the day quietly with my daughter, baking, cleaning, playing games, not angry, just done. Then Jenny texted from the dinner. "Your parents are unraveling. They printed emails, calling you unstable. Brian's just sitting there." That's when the hurt disappeared. They weren't trying to reconnect, they were trying to erase me. At 8:03 p.m., I called my mom. I told her I knew everything and that I was done. I wouldn't come over again, not for dinner, not for anything. She said, "You'll regret this. You'll end up alone." I looked at my sleeping daughter and thought, I've never been less alone. New Year's Day came quietly. No messages, no voicemails. I knew their silence wasn't understanding, it was regrouping. But I took the peace. My daughter and I made pancakes and laughed through cartoons. She never asked about them. She'd already learned. We don't chase people who won't show up for us. By January 3rd, the gossip started. They called relatives, twisting the story until I was the villain. But I didn't defend myself. I didn't need to. I had my daughter, our little home, our peace. Weeks passed, and life got lighter. I slept better, laughed more, cooked real meals again. The silence wasn't peace, it was a cold war, but this time, I wasn't playing. 3 months later, my daughter brought home a birthday invite from Brian's daughter. She looked at it and said, "We don't have to go if you don't want to." I said okay. No tears, no questions, just peace. We don't carry it anymore. Some doors don't need to be slammed, just closed quietly, firmly, and forever.